Hi guys, how are you? Don't have a headset on, sorry. Can't find my thingamabob connector. Maybe gonna wait a couple seconds. Let's see if anyone pops in. The title of the video kind of says it all. It's one of these things wanted to talk about. There's a lot of channels out there that talk about the 144,000. You know, that you are one. Hey TJ, how are you? That you are one of the 144,000. And several channels do this. You do the math. Hi, Roy. You do the math. Everyone can't be part of the 144,000. I said this early on. I think the 144,000 is times by 1,000. It's 144 million is what I stick with. But regardless, I do believe there is a core of the 144,000. Hi, Lady D. Yeah, no, the hair, it's just how it's going. I tried to do a side thing and whatever. But okay, everyone can't be the 144,000. I do believe that that number is the root as it is in the Bible or some of the good books, if you will. On the other end of that spectrum, I think it's 144 million that get 144 million that receive gifts. So let's stick with the 144,000, if you will. This is kind of what I wanted to jump off of my video I had the other day. Hi Dragonfly, if you see all the channels that talk about the 144,000, you add up the numbers. You get a good 15, 20 shows with 80,000 subscribers, 40,000 subscribers. You're well over that number. I don't like the fact that someone says, hi Christine, hi MJ, how are you? I don't like the fact that these people they're talking to are saying you are part of the 144,000. Before I go any further, can someone give me a thumbs up if my volume is okay? I don't have a microphone right now. Anyone, thumbs up? Is the volume okay? Okay, thank you, Christine. Thanks, Lady D. So anyway, back to the 144,000. Everyone can't be one of the 144,000. I don't like that some of these channels tell you that you are. No one knows. Okay, some of us can feel, I'm one of the 144,000. Okay, that's great. You can be told, your guides can tell you, the readings can tell you. How would we really know? And what I'm here to say is, I still see that number as 144 million. There is a root of the 144,000. But even still, with that, we're all here for a reason. We're all here and going to be a part of this greater good. No one knows for sure what the 144,000 is, represents. They're going to fly up in the air, the whole bit. I personally think that the 144,000 is people that carry a part of the DNA that will manifest Jesus, God, on this earth. So what happens to those people? Hey, Sandy. what happens to those people that are part of this 144,000? No one knows. Everyone speculates. We all have our theories. All of us, there's people that have seen little bits and pieces of it. I don't think you'll have any one person or any one prophet to be able to give you that information. Hey, Marissa. Um, but it does bother me that these channels tell some of their subscribers, "You are the 144. You are." I'm sorry, that's really not a nice thing to do in so many respects, because people believe what they're being told. Hi, Helen. So what I'm getting at is even if you're not part of this 144,000 slash million, we're all here. We all play a role within that process. I don't necessarily think that the 144,000 are saved and they go up into heaven. I think they're here to fight the good fight, whatever is needed by God at that point. I don't believe that anyone is, quote, spared. God is all powerful. He can do what he wants to do. But that impression that other channels give that, you are one of the 144. And I just don't think it's fair, because some people might be disappointed. The sad part is, I kind of touched on it on my previous video, that people look to a channel for the person, okay? Instead of maybe the God-given gift behind it. It's not necessarily about the person. See past the person and see the greater creator behind it. It's just one of those things that have been kind of irking me, and they've poked me a little bit with the download on that, just to address the fact that what if you aren't part of this, quote, chosen few? And it is few when you talk about the numbers, supposedly, of humanity. But we are all part of that whole process. Is there a root? I believe it. Hey, Jen, how are you? Is there a root to that 144,000? Yes, I believe so. And again, and we've seen in our own community, everyone has some kind of gift, some kind of intuition. Some people just are good at knowing things. They have a funny feeling. These are gifts. We just have to listen to them. And we expand them as we go. Hey, Dragonfly. But regardless if you're not part of that 144,000 slash million, you're part of the process. There's no insignificant roles. In many respects, I was telling someone the other day, okay, we've all been at a traffic light. Okay. Hi, Tanya. We've all been at a traffic light, and we have all had someone behind us. We're at a red light, and someone beeps because we're not paying attention or something goes on. And, oh, okay, I missed the light, and you hurry along your way. I got to be honest with you, I think those things are divine, because they have a domino effect. You had to stop for that couple seconds for these other pieces to fall in line. I don't take anything for granted any longer. Hi, Gypsy Mama. Sorry I can't see everybody. And yeah, I'm sorry, this is the hair today. It's like, did I go with a parting thing? Whatever. I still can't cut it. But there is no insignificant role in this process. I think everyone is a part of it, regardless, that is going to be here on this earth. I just think it's unfair that some channels and some creators tell you that you are part of the 144,000 because you're watching their show. Okay, let's call bullshit. Let's just say it. It's bullshit. Hi, honey, honey holic. Sweetie, you do have a gift. The truth is we're always tested on everything. Sometimes things can be insurmountably painful, and we can't see how we'll get from underneath that pain. And yet every day, the next day, you get up and you stand. And in many cases, that's a miracle by itself. Realize the blessings for what they are. Yeah, we're always challenged. Hey, Kendra, we're always challenged. But it's how you look at them. Can we look at it and say, yeah, it's been a hard time? Do we look at it that it's always me that seems to have gone through these bad spots? Sure, I'll be the first one to admit that. There was a time in my life that I had mentioned before. I schlepp rock from, what was the name of the Yabba Dabba Doo? I can't remember, God. But anyway, I walked around with that rainy cloud over my head for what felt like years. But it's how you face it. It's how you face it. It's not how you face it at the moment. Everything that's put in front of you it's a learning experience. It's how we have to look at it. God doesn't put something in front of you that you can't handle. We've all been through that. Of course, for depending on the depth and the thing, oh my God, what can I do? But yet you still get up and face the day. You can deal with the psychological aspect of that hurt. It doesn't have to happen at that moment. It's how you face it, how you look at it, and it is how you overcome it. And, sometimes it could be as much as a death, sometimes it could be something very insignificant, but to us it might be traumatic. Death is always hard no matter what. It doesn't matter if it's a mother, a father, a sibling, a son, a daughter. It's powerful. It's hard to imagine unless you've experienced it. But we do move on. Our love carries forward. Yeah, I mean, I've had a few souls come to me. I don't like to advertise that. I don't want to be, oh, hey, he talks to dead people. I don't, that is something that I've only done a few times. I'm not very comfortable with it, but Spirit leads you to what you have to go through. And again, my sympathies, Honey Holic. I've mentioned you can reach out to me anytime. My email is in the About section. I'd be more than happy to talk with you. I mean, that's what we do. We're here to help people. So again, let me get back on track with this 144,000. So Spirit was telling me, what if these people are being told they're part of the 144, and how are they going to handle the fact that they might not be part of the 144? When seers, card readers, everyone have told them that they are. You have to, you're told certain things at the moment, and sometimes it is what you need to hear. Even with the spirit guides, it may not be 100% accurate, but it generally is what you need to hear at the time. The rest can come in later, or it will transmute and grow to where it needs to be. And it's also about your own personal growth, where you are at the time and how you perceive things. I can say that my perception of all this from when it all started has, it's like night and day. It really is. What I thought I knew, I didn't have a clue. What I think I know now, I'm still learning, and I'm sure that will change drastically. Because as we grow, we're going to grow into what Creator wants us to be. Um, I my guides have been poking me to take more of a leadership role in this, and I hate that word. I don't like it. I want to walk with people. I want to help people. I, I don't like the word leader or leadership. I'm here to help people with what they need help with. That's the bottom line. But I don't want people to lose sight of the power behind the person. I mean, in so many respects, I'm no different than if you use a crystal or if you use tarot cards. We are all just tools when it comes to doing God's work. Um, but swinging back, regardless of the 144, whether you are one of them, one of those persons or not, I just don't think it's fair that channels tell you that, because it's a lie. We are all here for a reason, and if this happens within our lifetime, you are here for a reason and you are part of the process. I don't care how many people are on the planet, you are part of that process. There are no accidents. You are there for a reason. Again, I gave the analogy of, okay, you was at a stoplight or a red light. You were distracted. You didn't see that the light turned green and someone's behind you beeping the horn. That to me is God. You needed to pause for that brief moment. Hey, Pippi. You needed to pause for that brief moment for a domino effect of other things to happen. And I think a lot of you will agree that it's not that there's just no accidents. It's really there is nothing insignificant when it comes to what comes into our world. Hey, Sage, if you're out there, sorry I didn't see you. And if I missed everybody, I'm sorry. There's also a feature here while I'm talking about it, about going live together. I don't know if I could just pull someone on when I'm talking. From when it first came out, it looks like you had to have 50 subscribers, even if you're not the host. I don't know. I mean, I think maybe that might be something fun to do with everyone that pops in. Just give everyone a chance to say, hey, how are you? See your face. But that's something we can look at down the road. And, but again, I'm, my guides and spirit's been pushing me to do more. I don't want it necessarily to be this channel. Um, I don't know what it is. I'll probably post a little bit more here and there. They're poking me with things to do. And, sometimes regardless of what you feel, I've been going with what I'm shown to do. You know, when this all started, I never wanted my face to be on camera. I did not like it at all. On the internet, there's probably 4 pictures of me. That's all you'll find. Besides my wife and I's wedding photo, I have probably all 6 pictures of me and my wife together in my phone. I'm just not someone that takes photos. We're led and guided to do things that we weren't comfortable to do at some point. And, you know, I'm just amazed by all the people that, in all the chats within our group, you know, that we all connect, we see each other's name and faces, all the information and joy and knowledge that a lot of you all have. I mean, let's face it, we're all still learning. Hi, Low Angel. We're all still learning. You know, I don't think we'll ever get to the point that we're not learning. But we have to start standing within our truth and where we want to be. Right now, we straddle two worlds, 3D, 5D, however you want to look at it. It's like my last video, how do we come to balance with that? I think that's every bit as individual as it is for your journey. We can't stay on one extreme. We have to find balance in everything. Now, on the spiritual side, I'm leaning more towards, you know, 3D and spiritual. Spiritual's 70% conservatively. 3D is 70%. But that's in my mind, my thoughts, my daily thing. Again, someone like me that's cut out news and television and all those things, I have to find the balance between the spiritual side and the everyday living. You know, if your kids have to go to school or if you're homeschooling, where's the balance? I mean, I've seen Gypsy Mama balance. I mean, I've seen her juggle 900 things at one time. It's so impressive. I couldn't begin to do that. I wouldn't know how to. You know, I mean, it's amazing that she's, you know, a mom. She does so many other things in her community, working, does shows. And I'm just pointing her out, not to single her out, but she does a lot. And I would be exhausted by that. You know, full admission, I can admit that. Not a problem. That's not a battle I want to take on. But again, you know, where do we go from the balance? How do we find a balance? Everything that we are leaning towards, at some point, we're going to have to start picking a side as far as where we want to go. And can we straddle 3D and 5D evenly? Sure, for a while. But I think with any of these gifts we've been given, there's a learning curve. There's a chance to grow, and then at some point we all level, and then we go see the next phase of upgrading or moving up. To me, there is this kind of, okay, you're in 3D. Now we're approaching 4D and 5D. Well, I mean, I think there's a void in between all of those. I think there's a leveling off period. There's a getting used to. Do you stay in that mindset? I mean, once you've achieved that mindset, I think it wouldn't be hard getting back to it if you apply yourself. And I mean, it's still okay to be human, and we have lives and family members and all those things. But as I mentioned in my last video, you can. Okay, please. Thank you. Love you. Just been scratching by my table here for the last 5 minutes. Sorry. There you go, 3D. But what I was saying was, you know, the unique thing about it is we can get back on that horse anytime we need to. I don't think you lose those talents of bringing up your vibration. You've done it once, you can do it again. It's how you set your mind to it. But at some point, as we mature, and I mean that in everyone, including myself within that. It's what you want, what is most important to you. Sometimes not necessarily what is actually needed of you. but it is where you're geared, what you're drawn to, and go with it. And the beauty part about it is you can always change direction. The one thing I've seen that is amazing to me is, at one point, this vision I had, I raised up and I saw all these eyes looking at me, looking away from me. And then at one point, I saw this massive amount of paths, and it was kind of like the tree of life. Um, but it was almost like it was everyone's paths. And the thing of it is that any direction is your path, whichever you want to go. Because even if you miss, if you don't get off that exit ramp to go that path, you can always get back on it. And even if you're following your path, these paths intertwine constantly, not just with other people, but with other uh, gifts, with other knowledge, with other insight. I don't know. But that was the main thing, really, just to kind of talk about. If I missed anyone, I originally brought this up about the 144,000, and I still think it's 144 million. But this 144,000 that a lot of channels are telling people, you are the 144. You are, you know, these wonderful beings. What if you're not? What if you are not? I don't think there's an insignificant role. We're part of the process. But I just don't like that channels are doing that. In many instances, we can all be fooled, okay? I'm pretty damn good with discernment. I got a great bullshit detector. It's one of the gifts the good Lord has raised in my consciousness. But you, at some point, you have to, it's not meant to be harsh, but you have to be honest. And look, even if you're family and friends, we can all have different disagreements. That's fine. But you really do have to start standing up and speaking. Um, like, for instance, the other day I had a video about freedom and the illusion of freedom, I should say. And it just seems to me that anything that when it comes to about a sovereignty, and I was mentioning that sovereignty is along the earthly. It's earthly. Same with freedom. It's earthly, because in our spirit there is no sovereignty. You are one with the Creator. Done. I don't think there's another island out there unless you want to go the one way down low, supposedly. But I think sometimes when we declare our sovereignty, it's kind of a trap. In other words, it's meant to keep you here on this earth plane. Um, it seems like they're always willing to distract us from everything and anything when it comes to our spirituality. I mean, let's face it, they don't want you to be who you are. They want you to be someone else. They want you not to use these languages. They want you not to use these words. And when we say we're sovereign on certain things, I just think it's a catch-22. It's a trap. Is it? To me, that's like just taking a rod and sticking it down through your pant leg and anchoring you to the ground. It's going to anchor you to this 3D. It's going to impale you into this 3D world. In many respects, we think we're declaring our sovereignty as being free, but at the same respect, you can see how you're declaring your sovereignty to this earth plane. It can't be both. It's a trap. It's a double-edged sword. How do we know? The only way I can look at it is if it ties you or anchors you physically to this world. Physically. Um, I mean, I look at those as chains. I really do. This This body's just a vehicle, right? We know that. But we're attached to it. And I think we have to overcome all of these things to get a step above. Jesus Christ. God, dog just got me. Whew. Thank you. It's lingering. I apologize. But whatever, it's rough. But whatever can anchor you to this world, where we've always, it's easier to tell someone, it's easier to fool someone than it is to tell them that they've been fooled. But we all can be fooled. I don't care if you're walking on water. Let's take Peter, for instance. If we go with the book, if it's true, Jesus is walking on the water. He calls Peter out and says, "Come on, Peter, walk out on the water with me." Peter walks on water. In that single moment he doubted, he could no longer walk on water for that moment. In many respects, that's kind of how I see it. If it anchors you to this world physically, if something is if something is saying, we're gonna do this, do that, do this, do that, whether it's earthly, whether it's fighting the government, fighting the politics, it's still anchoring you to this world and to this subject, and it's taking away from you internally, you balancing, you expanding and growing. It's just coming at people at 100 miles an hour. We see it. It's hard not to, and it's hard not to be drawn in. But anyway, I just figured I'd take up a couple minutes tonight. Hopefully it helps you all or someone out there. I don't know. Maybe it was just a ramble. But yes, they do, Gypsy. My God. And they had nothing today. Nothing. I don't know what it is. It's the breed, I think. Whew. Sage. Ugh. I'm not mixing that smell with that. No chance. That would be horrible. Oh, my God. But anyway, just want to let you know. But if anyone knows how to do the go live together, maybe that's all something we could possibly do. I don't know how to do it. I'm going to try and look into it. I don't know if you go live together and you press, hey, there's Pippi Lou. Hi, Pippi Lou. And I push on her thing and she pops in if she wants. I don't know how to do it. But maybe that's a way just to even get people to see a face with a name. If anyone's willing to do that. I don't know. Pippi, you're all set. Awesome. I like it. But anyway, listen, guys, have a great weekend. Love you all. Just remember, just keep asking yourself those questions. What can fool you? I mean, I will ask my guides 3 different times, 3 different ways. It's like 9 ways, and I'm sure they get pissed off at me. I'm sure they do. I can feel their energy. I just want to be sure. And, we really have to, sometimes it's for our own good to learn a lesson. I just don't like people telling other people what to think, or how to think, or, you have to do this because. Says who? That's like some of these channels are, what your guides are telling you. Again, he knows all, they know all. Come on, and it really is just for clicks. It just amazes me how many subscribers are on those channels like that, and it really is lost souls. They just want information, and that's what they get, information. They get no knowledge. Our hearts are the biggest guide. It tells us to question it. It tells us to ask. It tells us to say, hey, what do you think about this? And sometimes we have to experience it. It's no different than buying a product you see on the internet or on the television. You think, well, maybe that'll work. And you buy it and it's regret. Okay, well, it doesn't hurt you because it's a few dollars, but it is disappointing. But you thought, hey, this made sense. And sometimes it does. And sometimes it may be a wonderful thing. But yeah, I don't have to agree with everything out there, and people don't have to agree with me. All I really want everyone to do is just kind of ask themselves a question. I mean, look, I think I'm fairly connected. I question my guides, and I can feel that it's them, but yet I still question it because we're not above being fooled. We're human. Just because we have a little better connection sometimes in certain gifts or card reading or runes or whatever you name it, always question those things. Uh, I just want people to really start looking at the fact of honing down more into the way of knowledge. What do they think? And sometimes it's a consensus. Sometimes you have a gut feeling. Can your gut feeling be wrong? I would say so, sure. But it's okay to listen to that gut feeling and be wrong, than be fooled and keep thinking you're right. It makes sense to me because most people don't like to admit that they were fooled. It's easier to keep fooling them. But anyway, hi Jen. Um, anyway, I'm gonna run. I just wanted to pop on. Uh, I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. And again, I had mentioned one other time before. You see these bags under my eyes? I mean, I'm a joyful person, but there's burdens that come with these gifts. Their knowledge is sometimes wonderful, but free will eliminates you from interfering with that. Again, these aren't your burdens, but they are a burden. So just keep listening to your heart. Keep staying joyful. Be the person you want to be as your friend. That's the main thing. I mean, be the person you want in your life to other people. I think that's the greatest start. We can just keep pushing forward and keep moving forward. That's it. But anyway, have a good weekend, all. Love you guys. See you. Integrity for sure, Jen. Integrity. I don't know how to stop this. I'm sorry.